Yo, what's up guys, it's Nick. I'm just bringing you guys a quick update video on my Galvanic Shards attribute stacking Gemling Legionnaire. The build is scaling really well, just as I suspected. We've just done a T3 Simulacrum and we've killed T3 Xesht a couple times, as you can see from the showcase. We're leveling up really quickly. I'm never dying in maps and doing loads of damage. One tapping packs, shooting rares twice and they're dying. We've made a couple of changes to the build in terms of upgrading our gear and a couple of cool new changes to the passive tree. So I just want to share that with you guys now, as well as answer a few questions. So the first thing I want to do is just start the video out by saying I will never bait you guys by showing me one-shotting bosses if that's not possible. Very easy for me to go into a T1 map and kill a boss in one shot with a plasma blast. But that's not how I like to do things. I will only ever show you guys something if I am going to be playing it myself and if I truly think it's good. So let me just show you guys the passive tree very quickly. So a couple of changes we have made. Nothing too severe, nothing too drastic. We have spec'd into the Winter Owl, which is giving us more evasion per int, which is obviously a really good thing. I've changed a few things down at the bottom side of the tree, but we do have a really cool new tech that is with the controlled metamorphosis diamond. So this is a diamond that drops from Xesht. It has negative all elemental res and negative chaos res, and it says only affects passives in the, and then it varies from very small to massive. You want to get one that has a medium ring, because that allows us to now take run and gun and spray and pray without having to path up here and waste all of these points. But aside from these two, we also get the Cunning Fox, which is +5 qual to all skills, which is extremely good because we're actually getting +2 qual and +2 qual here, which takes us to 9. So what you can then do is, if you get yourself a 23% quality corrupted Galvanic Shards, that actually gives us an extra projectile. So if you have a look, it says fires 4 fragments per shot because of that extra additional quality. And the same goes for Herald of Thunder. So if you look at Herald of Thunder, you can see that it says lightning bolt strike the targets of your next 4 attack hits rather than 3. So that is extremely good. So definitely pick up one of those if you're able to. All these additional changes to the tree you'll find in the planner. A lot of them were made due to my damage being enough and just wanting to boost up survivability, which I have successfully achieved. I am very, very tanky at the moment. If you have a look at my evasion, I'm at 71% evasion, 71% deflection chance as well. You can see over here. And almost at capped resistances. I haven't capped my chaos res. I never really died to chaos damage. In fact, I don't remember when I've ever died to chaos damage because I've got poison immunity charm. So another little tech that you guys can do if you've got a bit of currency is you can get yourselves a From Nothing diamond. So the From Nothing diamond lets you allocate points next to any keystone. So if you guys don't know, this is a keystone without it being connected to your tree. So if you get one that has passives in the radius of Walker of the Wilds, can be allocated without being connected to your tree, you can then literally take all of these notables. You can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's so much value. You can get like 2 or 3 of these nodes, which is a lot of lightning damage and strength. You can get more evasion ones, so that is a cool tech if you can afford it. It's quite expensive, so just bear that in mind. Let me also touch over the jewels. Some people asked about my Heart of the Well diamond. The only real important stats in here are gains damages extra lightning and the recover life on kill. The other stats are just a bonus. Inflict elements is obviously helpful. Evasion from body armor would be like super amazing, but you know, those can get super expensive. Time lost emerald has not changed. We've obviously fit in the control metamorphosis, as I said earlier. And then I've just got a normal emerald here with lightning damage, shock damage, damage pen, and an unveiled percentage strength with a 5 dex implicit. So you can use any gem you want. If you want to get a Megalomaniac, if you can afford it, then pop a Megalomaniac in there. You need to fix resistances. You can get a corrupted resistance jewel and put it in there. It's entirely up to you guys. Just going over the gear, I'd like to tell you guys a bit about stat priority because I think there was a bit of confusion about it in my first video. So I have had a crossbow upgrade. I have crafted this one myself. It is relatively easy and deterministic to do, but it can be quite expensive. If you guys are interested in a crafting guide for this crossbow, let me know. I will be happy to make a video on it for you. So we've got loads 2 additional bolt suffix, onslaught on kill, +6 to all attacks. And then we've got flat lightning damage and gain damage as extra lightning damage, and then increase elemental damage with attacks. Ideally, I would want that to be physical. So I'd want that to be adds flat physical damage. That would be ideal, but I can always desecrate it again and go for it. So for now, this is really good. If you guys are playing, what you really want to focus on is just getting flat lightning damage, flat physical damage, increased physical percentage on your crossbow. The suffixes, the only real important one is the level of all attack skills or level of all projectile skills if you can't afford attack skills. And then the other two suffixes don't really matter too much. Obviously, Onslaught's really nice. It gives you action speed and movement speed. Loads additional bolts is obviously insane for mapping. My rings I've improved as well. So this one, accuracy is not really the best and cold damage is not really the best, but it's just a settle ring for now. It's got T1 flat lightning damage and it's got attributes and resistances. So if you are following this build, you would want flat physical damage, flat lightning damage, and then a prefix of your choice. It can be maximum life, for example. And suffixes, you would want attributes. So it can be strength, int, or dex. And then you want all elemental resistances, or you can just get a high tier of a individual resistance and then you'll be done. So the same goes for the other ring, but I'll just show you what my other ring looks like just so that you guys can see. Helmet is still exactly the same. My Astramentus is still exactly the same. I've got a 2-socket Hands of Wisdom in action. You guys can get yourselves a corrupted version that changes this from 1 to 12 lightning damage per 20 int, which is a decent damage increase. So just bear that in mind. Also make sure you get yourselves Leld's Rune of Spring rather than just using the normal sockets, because it does give you 60 more flat lightning damage, which is great. I've started using Ingenuity, helps me with my res, and it is also giving me attributes. If you see I take it off, I lose quite a bit of res as well as attributes. So it's just the best belt for me to use for now until I get my Headhunter. My boots are still the same. I decided to corrupt them and I got stun thresholds. That's not important, so don't worry about the stun threshold. And then I somewhat crafted an okay chest today. So ideally for chest piece, you want to be using a Corsair coat because it has reduced movement speed penalty from using skills while moving. So normally when you're walking with a crossbow and shooting, you lose a bit of movement speed, but if you use the space, it mitigates that. And then I've got gain deflection as evasion, two resistances. You don't really need life, but obviously life is good. You can just go triple evasion prefix and get as much evasion as possible. It's entirely up to you. If you feel like you're needing the extra life, then go for the life. Otherwise, just go for triple evasion. It's just a lot more expensive to do. So that's what we're looking at in terms of gear. I will go over my gems and explain a few more things. Some people ask why I have support gems and crossbow shots. This doesn't affect the damage at all. It's just to get my number of strength gems up so that we benefit from the crit immunity from gem studded. So make sure that the majority of your skill gems are strength ones. If your skills are full, just put them in crossbow shot and it will still count. Galvanic Shards, we're still using the same skill setup with Iron's Metal. Obviously now that we've got 4 clips, we can shoot 4 times and it reloads instantly. And if you see from the gameplay, you basically never run out of ammo. It's extremely fast now, and you don't even need to use shock burst rounds on rares anymore. You just basically just shoot 2-3 times and the rares are dying. And that is without Rakiat's flow. And to be honest, my gear is really not as good as it could be. And there's also a lot of power potential from the passive tree that we're missing, which I'll go into eventually once I am able to scale the build up to that level. We've started using Mortar Cannon. This is just used as a primer, so it's used to apply shock. So if you're doing simulacrums, you can just pop it down like almost instantly. It shoots out the grenades which apply shock, so it's really nice, and also it can be used to distract enemies. It's just nicer than using it yourself, so you just drop one down and you just keep blasting. So in that sense, it's really good. Defy obviously on shock burst rounds, as well as Ellie Focus, Ellie Armament, Rapid Attacks, Lightning Attunement. Wind Dancer, I've got a bunch of supports in. You can just copy these. Herald of Thunder, you can copy these as well. Nothing's really changed. Voltaic Mark, I've swapped on Life Tap because when I was trying to use it before, I would run out of mana. So you just slap a Life Tap on there and that solves that issue. Same goes for with the Mortar Cannon. I have Life Tap on that. So basically, when we run out of mana, it doesn't matter. We truly don't need any mana anymore. Same goes for Emergency Reload. We've got Life Tap, Efficiency, Cooldown Recovery, and Prolonged Duration. If you guys are interested in my tooltip damage, Galvanic is 29,400 DPS. And then we've got the beam damage, which is 150,000. You need to bear in mind that we're shooting 12 projectiles and we're shooting 3 times per second. So yeah, more than 2 million damage per shot. That about covers everything in terms of the update, guys. On a side note, I have a new Discord server, so if you guys have questions, you want to chat to me, ask me something, then feel free to join. The link for that will be in the description. Otherwise, guys, I hope this has been helpful. I'll try to keep you guys updated as I invest more time and currency into the build. But other than that, guys, I hope you have a great day and hope you drop a bunch of divines.